More raw, more real, more rad than ever, FINNEAS is evolving his solo career sound and delivering a confessional indie pop album to back it up. For Crying Out Loud is the 27-year-old's sophomore album, his latest triumph in an already storied career that includes 10 Grammy wins, 2 Academy Awards, and producing for some of the biggest names in music, including his sister Billie. Our Will Reeve sat down with FINNEAS to talk about his journey to mega stardom, his writing process, and the difference between producing for himself and producing for others in our latest Prime playlist.
Say it like you mean it.
From behind the scenes to center stage, FINNEAS has played a central role in shaping the sound of a generation. As the guiding force behind his sister Billie Eilish's chart-topping hits, including Birds of a Feather, and showcasing versatility and vulnerability in his own solo career.
Did you figure me out?
In the afterglow of his sophomore album, titled For Crying Out Loud, we sat down with the 10-time Grammy and 2-time Oscar winner at New York City's historic Electric Lady Studios.
I started making music when I was like 12 or 13, and I was just writing away, just writing songs all the time. There's a venue in LA called the Fonda Theater. It's like 1,200 people or something. My dream was to open for somebody playing the Fonda Theater.
In 2012, a teenaged FINNEAS formed his band The Slightlies, and 3 years later, he wrote the song Ocean Eyes for the band. The Slightlies passed on recording the track, so instead he brought it to Billie when her dance teacher asked them to write a song to choreograph a dance to. They recorded the song and released it on SoundCloud, and with that, 2 careers were launched into the stratosphere. Ocean Eyes became the duo's first song to break onto the charts, hitting number 84 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Does success make you doubt yourself more or second-guess yourself more because you know now what it takes to put out a hit record? Or do you gain confidence because you know what works?
I think if I'm looking at my career in retrospect, it probably did some of every step of the way. I think at first we put out Ocean Eyes, and that exceeded our expectations, and then I felt pressure and intimidation trying to make something that would also do what that song did.
The hits kept coming. FINNEAS making history at the 2020 Grammys as the youngest ever Producer of the Year winner, taking home 6 awards that night for his work on the album When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?, including for Song of the Year, Bad Guy.
I'm the bad guy. Duh.
In 2023, the sibling duo became the youngest 2-time Academy Award winners with their song What Was I Made For?, the breakout hit from the Barbie movie and soundtrack.
What was I made for?
Its lyrics resonating with women worldwide. It's a search for meaning, belonging, and connection.
Do you ever stop, take stock of what you've done, where you've been, what you've achieved, and pick out certain moments that mean more?
Anything that I've gotten to do that has achieved anything is a real honor to me, and not something I'm super interested in trying to repeat over and over. Evolution, I think, is really the key component of it. The thing that is the most exciting to me is the thing I haven't done yet.
FINNEAS's latest evolution is For Crying Out Loud, his new confessional, raw, and thoughtfully produced indie pop record.
How does this album, For Crying Out Loud, fit into that approach to your artistic process?
I said I want to make an album, and I want to make it in an old-fashioned way. I want to get in a room, in a studio, and make music basically live and write that way. So that was what we did.
Grab my wrist till your knuckles are white. It's a brand new kiss in the same old light. In a Friday bliss on a Sunday night.
The way that I've traditionally made music is I sit in a room with a laptop, whether it's alone or with Billie or with another artist, and we sit and we write a song together. And it's all my brain and the limited sort of abilities that I have on each instrument. But I found in terms of making this album, getting in a room with a guitarist who's really an incredible guitarist and a drummer who's an incredible drummer, just gave me so much ammunition to then write on top of and feed off of.
Did you figure me out?
What is your approach to writing lyrics for yourself?
To me, lyrically, the thing that I'm trying to do is express myself and say things that have a real resonance to me when I say them. And whether it's super, super hyper-specific or fairly vague, there's a time and a place for both.
You say Star is the only song you said you wrote alone. You saying, quote,
I trusted you against my better judgment. Watch the sunrise, tears in your eyes.
what's happening there? What was going through your mind when you wrote it?
It's kind of an amalgam of 2 or 3 different relationships I've had in my life. Not romantic relationships, but platonic relationships. It doesn't have much to do in that case with celebrity as much as it does with, I think, sort of taking advantage of a situation and molding yourself around social currency.
Those lyrics contrasting with the openness of Family Feud, where Finneas reflects on his relationship with Billie.
And you're only 22, and there's nothing I can do. I've made mistakes, you'll make them too.
I think the song in many ways is about seeing a person that the whole world knows a little bit about, or in some cases a lot about if they're like a super fan or something, but knowing that person even better and thinking about what life would have been like if it was still just a relationship that only you knew that person.
Finneas describes himself as a musical chameleon. His collaborations range from the psychedelic sounds of Kid Cudi's September 16th to Selena Gomez's heartbreaking ballad Lose You to Love Me.
I needed to hate you to love me, yeah. To love you, to love you.
How do those collaborations and others influence your solo work?
You're dipping your toe into like 10 different genres, and then when I turn my focus on my own body of work, I get to worry about, maybe worry is the wrong word, I get to really focus on what is authentic.
He says he feels most authentic in the studio.
And again, it's like, you just feel it. You don't even really hear it. This is how busy this part of the song is. This song, Lotus Eater, came from a session of a bunch of people playing together. Aaron Forbes on bass, Miles on drums, my friend Rat on guitar, David playing synthesizer, so then it starts to sound, you got some stuff. Lucy Healy on keys.
Yeah.
And then that all sits underneath my lead vocal.
Couldn't keep a secret. Well, maybe you could leave it out.
And then the very last thing you hear is this goofy little, and you finish it, and there's like a weird sort of human release thing where everybody just kind of like smacks the thing that they're playing.
Pencils down. We're
Yeah,
done.
exactly, pencils down.
Putting the pencil down on the album, and it's on to the next challenge.
I've wanted for several years now to tour under my own name in a substantial way. I've gotten to tour the United States a little bit as a solo artist, but never the rest of the world. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. I've always kind of liked working super hard. To me, the idea of like, oh, the only thing I have to do is like work really hard,
Right.
is fine by me.
So talented, and now we get to enjoy the music. Our thanks to Will Reeve for that report.